Hello, Pirate Council. May our tall tales please you. When last we left our heroes, they had been seeking the vault of one Captain Featherstorm, famed pirate on these fair seas some 200 years ago, and they had found his last known hideout, his location, but were unable to access the vault itself, as they needed the shard, the solitaire diamond, a key of sorts, an extra-dimensional key of sorts that had been given to Captain Featherstorm to keep safe. And they found that he had perhaps given it to a girlfriend at the time prior to his disappearance, and they didn't know where to find her. They met up with a Verity Kyle, a tiefling who had been on Featherstorm's crew, and who had helped commission and build the extra-dimensional vault that Featherstorm had wanted set up. In exchange for ruining the plans of one of Verity's rivals, the party was given an invitation to a winter gala. And you remember back as you start heading towards the town of Loch Winnis. The words Verity said to you: the heart of the Tempest, the solitaire diamond that holds the key to unlocking Captain Featherstorm's secret vault. It's almost within your reach. But there's a catch. It's not in any ordinary strongbox or treasure hoard. It's in the Feywild. Zordhanna Adula, Lady Zordhanna Adula, a drow elf, once one of the most feared sorceresses across the plains, a pirate alongside our dear captain, now retired, but still sharp as a blade. She wears the heart of the Tempest around her neck at these events, fashioned into a necklace of platinum. Every year during the winter solstice, she and her husband, Eliphas, retreat to their estate in the Feywild and throw a lavish gala. It's a gathering of the powerful and the dangerous, creatures from across realms, each vying for favor or to just outdo one another in extravagance. Nestled into this on this island is a quaint hamlet. As you approach the island you've been given directions to, you can see on the island there's sort of this quaint hamlet. It's cottages and shops idyllically situated between. There's a little bit of snow, or probably not snow. There's a bit of a chill in the air. This area is maybe a little bit too tropical to be full snow this time of year. You can see that beyond, within the inner parts of the island, there is a dark lake, and you approach a wharf where where the village meets the ocean, and you can see that there's sort of a canal being built in to the island itself, and locks that can take you into the island and into the loch or the lake. When the last sliver of sun dips below the horizon, you can see a silver glow emanating from deep within the water of the lake, and distant music and laughter begin to drift through the air. Your ship kind of berthed at the dock. You see two wolves as big as horses materialize out of thin air at the end of the dock. They have snow white fur, and they shake off some snow onto the wooden part of the boardwalk. Their eyes as cold and blue as glacial ice. As they walk slowly down the dock, one of them says in common, "Honored guests, the Lady and Lord of Paliset Hall eagerly await your presence. Once your invitation has been validated, please enter the loch." Let's cut to our intrepid heroes on their ship. Paulie, what do we see when we see you on the ship? what's Paulie wearing, knowing that he's headed to a fancy gala, and how does he respond to these horse-sized wolves appearing on the side of the water?
On the ship, he's pretty peeved because no one agreed with his plans to rock up in a birthday suit. He's got feathers, so he's covered anyway. Why do I need to wear clothes? Why do I need to, impress these fancy Fey folk? So
it's the custom.
Yeah, I get it, but maybe our Cochrane custom is to just dangle with your bits out.
Just do a costume change halfway through the night.
Good point. It can be a tearaway suit. Yes, I like that.
I've got this stuff. It's like it goes like shh. We can put it on and attach it, and then you just gotta rip it.
Perfect.
I just want it to be known that I don't support this, and I won't be standing near you at all.
That's okay.
I'm fully here for it.
Dad's embarrassed again. So, grumbling, Paulie begrudgingly wears his nicest finery. Usually wearing that for showing off to the fair maiden that is the sea. But guesses he may as well wear it to a fancy gala as well. So he's wearing one of those little ruffles, those little white ruffles. He's got his captain's overcoat on with the big gold epaulets. His mullet is showing. He's got his fancier captain's hat, which has a even bigger feather. And yeah, no pants, because he was just disagreed with wearing pants.
Yeah, naturally. Very good.
Yep.
Killian's in full support. There goes my captain.
Well, yeah, we pan over and see an approving look upon the tiefling face. Killian, what do we see when we see... what does the eye see when we see Killian?
Killian just has no shirt on. He's standing there, tight leather pants.
We're
Almost
obviously the
too tight.
entertainment.
Just no shirt and a bow tie. You can see every single scar, some of which were definitely from battle, and some of which have just been from games of chance where he's just been really drunk in the hills, and they're like, we're gonna carve this into you. They're like tattoos, but they're scars. He looks fantastic. He's very confused. It's like I've never. He's looking at everyone what? How do you act to these people? What do we? Demons? Fine. Fiends? Fine. Fae? The fuck's a fae?
I think if you do your tit dance, they'll be fine. Your peck dance, I think that'll be exactly. That's how you talk to them.
Okay. All I've heard about these creatures, beings, things, people, that if you give them a gift, they have to give you a gift. I think.
You could try that.
I will try it. I feel like that's how that works. I don't know. I read it in a book.
Yeah, you've certainly read, Killian, you've certainly read that, events of this occasion, especially in the Feywild, gift giving is a big part of that. Each party will give a gift to each party kind of thing. Upon arrival, though, it started to get a bit weird in the readings. You were like, some people give the gift of a breath of air or something like that. Can't be right. That just must be a mistranslation.
Killian will reiterate that. But some people, they just walk up and they just breathe on them. They get something back.
Hot.
This place is fucking weird, man. I wouldn't. I'd
Killian, don't kink shame the Fae.
Yeah, you might like it
as a gift. As a gift, that's just weird. I'd give him something way better.
Sharing air is a
way better. I reckon I could give him the best. I've got to give him the best gift. Best gift they've ever seen. What that is?
Don't lick the host.
Oh my god!
The gift of
I was thinking something way more sexual, to be honest. But
Well, you're not wearing pants, though.
Hey, between us, we're wearing a full outfit, okay, Yama?
No, it's not okay.
It is okay. This is
don't be embarrassed by your family, Yama.
Yeah. I even got you this mask, and I pull out like a leather mask. It's a
Give
Lucha
me a
Libre
mask.
mask.
Oh god.
Here,
not
see,
wearing that.
we're all wearing parts leather. It's cool, okay? But like, really, we have to give. I think we have to give them gifts, and like,
Give them the gift of air and saliva, like you said.
give
No,
them the gift
not
of
saliva.
sight or lack thereof.
that's what
Bang
I
it.
was
Nah,
gonna
I
do.
wouldn't do that. I'm just kidding.
Give them the gift of your presence.
I'll
Like, as in,
I'll
like-
figure it out when I get there. Look,
Yeah,
I'll figure
yeah.
if I panic, I panic. I don't know. I'll give them something. I'm sure they'll be happy with it. We'll see.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
What?
So-
What? Wait, can I give them the gift of friendship, and then I give them Paulie?
Oh, we need him.
Ah, yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Sure, I got other stuff I can give away.
So we look from the approving Killian to the perhaps disapproving Yama. Kate, what do we see? What does the eye see when we eye over the hobgoblin, former war general, former Don boss of crime, Yama the Immovable Mountain?
He's worn so many hats recently. I will say he's wearing so many clothes compared to everybody else. He's in his full resplendent golden armor, heavy armor, so full everything, all the pieces. He's wearing his ceremonial like half kimono, kind of like over the top, so it just covers like one shoulder, and it's in his like. You remember he re-dyed this from his family colors to just a personal choice. So I'll say it's like a rich purple color because it was red before. He's added some blue and now it's purple. Yeah, with like some gold trim and it's like embroidery and it's all very nice. He's got his helmet and over the top because now we're in the Feywild. You can see these flowers kind of blooming off the top.
We're not there yet. We're still in the material plane. I'll let you know when we get to the
okay.
Feywild. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, he's prepared himself for that
prepared.
image. And yeah, that's it. He's a shiny, sparkly boy with this satin kind of sash over his shoulder.
Glorious, as
Where-
always.
So if we cast our eyes to Karu, the air's getting a little bit chilly. It's cold. Not there's no frozen seas or icebergs or anything like that in these waters. How does Karu hold up in the cold typically? Because obviously the sea can be very cold. It can also be very warm. So where does Karu sit as sort of that not quite amphibious kind of gentleman that he is?
I think Karu can kind of he's fine in like all temperatures really, because he can go down into like the cold depths of the ocean, then he can go up to sort of like the warm tropic temperatures of the shallows. He is also not wearing a shirt or shoes. One thing you know about Karu, he doesn't really like to wear shoes. But he's wearing a sort of like minty green, maybe more like a light teal, sort of like very puffy long jacket. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like big puffed out sleeves. And it's super long, and when he sort of pulls it back, the inside of it is like a butterfly wing pattern, but it's like done with like gold. I've been thinking about this, like a gold sort of pattern work, but it's a butterfly wing pattern. And then he's wearing just like sort of like dark grey pants, almost like jean material, but then over the top of that, he has, so him and Diana spent a lot of time getting this outfit together. She had a lot to do with it. And he's got gold shibari rope has been like tied around his legs in like a pattern that sort of like goes around each leg. He can move. But yeah, I actually drew this on my other D&D character ages ago, and I was like, perfect. But it's very sexy. And yeah, no shoes. And he's like, all his jewelry, I think him and Diana swapped some jewelry out, and he's got like heaps of earrings, like maybe he's got a couple of fresh piercings. And yeah, a smoky eye.
Did Karu have to have the conversation with his polycule about who's going to be on his arm during the Gala itself? Is he bringing a few dates? Is he bringing one? Is he bringing two? Or three?
They all decided. He was like, we can all go, and they were like, no.
Yeah.
This is a fight, and they had a battle royale, and Diana won, much to Evelyn's surprise. Because Evelyn suggested it, thinking, I've got this in the bag, and Diana just horse kicked her.
Very good. Love that. Excellent. All right. So you've been asked to present your invitation from one of these horse-sized frost wolves. Who has the invitation?
Yama totally is the only one responsible
Yep.
enough to have that.
Which is funny because Kate was about to be like, "Did we get invitation?"
You
Yeah,
absolutely.
well, you asked. You asked. Remember? You asked your mate.
Oh, that's right. The night.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think Verity
Awesome.
Carl would have given you her invitation as
Okay.
like part of the reward, I guess. You did get correspondence from Sir Talavar that he would be there as representing the Summer Court.
With his queen, right?
He did send you an email. He sent you a letter saying...
We're so advanced in the Feywild.
I know,
Jesus.
yeah.
Yama doesn't know how to use this shit.
An elemental mail. Have you got one?
They're pretty easy
Yes,
to use,
it's
guys.
Hotmail, obviously.
Hotmail. Yes. Yeah, we only accept Hotmail on this ship. He says that his queen sends her best, but she will be going into seclusion during the winter solstice, as she does. So he will be there with a retinue of the summer court lords and ladies, who are kind of, his bosses. He is a knight to them, but they speak on behalf of the queen at these things. But he's looking forward to seeing you.
Beautiful. Well, I guess Yama has these invitations, and he presents them from within his garb.
Yeah, you pull them out. These are, it's almost like the invitations, we would see them as almost like lasered on glass. They're a bit cold and slick. It's almost like a giant icicle flat sheet, this invitation. And it has, invitation for Verity Kyle will be represented by, and it has, a couple of your names, but also, the what is the name of your crew, Paulie? What does it kind of go by?
That's a really good question. I don't know.
You're building up this big reputation, and no one knows what to call you.
Yeah. I actually have to think about that. I mean,
I'll let you think about that. We ran into the same thing. We had to come up with a gang name in Blades in the Dark, and it took us way too long to figure it out.
It was fun though.
It is fun.
We'll retcon that one. We'll have a chat
have a
about
think.
it.
There is a name out there, but you just, it exists. You just dare not speak it here.
Mhm.
Yep.
So you show your invitations to the wolves, and they turn their heads to look at the lock, which is sort of a canal with a wall. The wall comes down to reveal sort of a space big enough for your ship, and you're able to sail it in. As your ship enters the lock, and you can see the lake beyond, kind of at a slightly higher elevation. The water wheels begin to spin, the wall starts coming up behind you, and water begins flooding into the lock to raise your ship. Your ship begins to rise, but then stops rising, but the water level keeps rising. The water level keeps rising and rising up to the deck of your ship, flooding onto the deck itself, covering your feet in sort of this ice-cold water. The water keeps rising. Your ship, buoyant, but, off the ground, but not rising with this water. This water keeps rising until it's at knee height, chest height. This block of water rises up above you. And it's cold. It's definitely wet. You don't feel the sensation of really being underwater. It's difficult to move in, but you can feel like you can breathe here. Karu, this is probably no different for you, but everyone
I'm
else,
like, yep.
yeah, everyone else is kind of looking at you. You can see the feathers and the outfits, you know, like kind of starting to float a little bit in the water, and then they stop moving around to some sort of invisible current. The water starts getting colder and colder. It begins to be difficult to move. And after a moment, the water begins to freeze around you. You are all incapacitated, unable to move, stuck in ice. And then there's an earth-shattering crack sound of ice, and the ice around you falls away. And you can see what was obscured through the ice itself. You know, it was sort of like a cold haze over the lake in front of you. Now you can see it as a frozen lake. And that visage of the lake and the island beyond is now a frozen winter wonderland. What you thought was just the filter of the ice making it look so falls away, and you are in the Feywild with a frozen lake in front of you. And beyond, you can see a sprawling estate and a palace up the path. And you look over the edge of the ship, and those two wolves are still there on the dock. And there is a dock here, but it is slightly different. It's you know, it's got icicles coming off the eaves of the roofs, and the place looks abandoned.
Leslie, that was amazing.
That was awesome, yeah.
Do we disembark here?
Yeah, you make your way onto the dock beside the lock to head to the lock and follow the path towards the sprawling estate. Standing in front of the palace is a fountain of illusory water on a cobblestone patio, with colourful globes of light bobbing in the air, dancing in time with the stars that blink on the twilight horizon. The patio leads to a grand two-story palace, its walls as white as fresh fallen snow. The dark roof shimmers with the colours of an aurora. Crystal snowflakes decorate the windows, and music wafts through the palace's open doorway. 4 winter wolves stand between you and Paliset Hall, and they sort of make their way up to you, and one of them kind of lowers its head slightly and up again and says, "Welcome. May I see your invitations?"
And Yama procures them again for the wolf. Oh wow, cool.
They check over them again. All is fine. They say, "Please, please enter. Make yourselves comfortable. You are guests of Lord and Lady Adula." And you are sort of motioned into the hall itself.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
I just opened up my notes because I was like, I should actually write some of this stuff down. The last thing I have is it just says commit insurance fraud. I don't know
So typical.
why, but yeah, I believe I have to commit
it was to
insurance
do-
fraud.
No, it was to do with Talon at
Yep.
the casino. Because you put
Was it?
Talon into the vault, and then Talon was stolen from the vault, as far as they're aware. By
I
me.
should have committed insurance fraud. You're right. Yes, good point.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Pretty sure
Anyway,
they went back
sorry.
to complain. What happened with that, I don't know.
All right.
Hilarious.
Apologies for derailing a bit there, but I just
That's all right. I
We
can't-
needed to know.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. I'm trying to see, how do I close all these journal notes? 'Cause I've still got, on the stream, I've still got that picture of the house in front of it there.
Oh yeah.
But no, please, yeah. So we'll figure that out. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So yeah, you approach the hall. As I mentioned, it's got these sort of bright white walls. Yeah, you can see the upper floor. There's kind of a balcony up above, you know, opening up to the main front of the courtyard. And you can see a number of other guests that seem to be loitering around outside. Some arriving in carriages drawn by all manner of beasts, and then their carriages go away. You can see ice decorations sort of outside or among the courtyard. And the front doors of the palace are made of stained glass with sort of a silvery fractal pattern. Garlands of frost winding around to create sort of intricate patterns all over the place. But you are obviously welcome to enter and explore.
Can I go up to one of the ice sculptures with Diana?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, leg down, walk up, and I'm like, dare me to lick it? I'm gonna lick it. I'm gonna lick the statue.
She's like, you wouldn't, knowing you surely would.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah, is that a dare? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Oh no, you wouldn't do it.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
No way would you do it.
My captain just gave me an order. I gotta do it. And I probably picked the inappropriate spot of the statue to lick, if there is such a thing.
The statue is almost of
Gee, where am I gonna lick now?
So the statue is of sort of like a winged humanoid creature, but it's like carved out of ice. And where do you lick it? It's got arms, legs, head, ears, feet. Like it's it's small. It's sort of like gnome or dwarf sized. But yeah, where on the statue what does it look like when Karu licks the statue?
Oh god.
I would actually love it as well though too. Like just as they just say, like in the past, knowing that we're going to the gala, Yama really tried to do etiquette lessons with at least
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've like sat you all down and I've showed you like cutlery and how to properly greet people.
Work from the outside in. Yeah.
Karu and Paulie are fighting with the fork.
Karu goes over to the right nipple of this particular thing, and then he looks at Diana and he's like, "There's two of these," and dares her to do the other one. I'm so sorry. No, I'm not.
No, this is perfect. Because as you lean down, and you probably find, I mean, you're shirtless, Killian is shirtless. You're not too bad with the cold, Karu. I guess if it's like not a humid cold. Is it still humid if it's wet in the air and cold? I guess you just don't do well with a dry heat and a particularly dry. But it's definitely moist. There's snow falling in the air and so on. It's definitely cold enough to certainly make, if sea elf boys have nipples, they're certainly goosebumpy right now. And as the two of you, she's kind of giggling a little bit. She transforms back into her kind of humanoid form, and I'm assuming her dress is like built in such a way that now it's just like a big train behind her, when before it was like halfway up the horse.
And I reckon she's got like two slits down the front of the dress, so that like her sort of like horse legs can go through them.
Yes.
So they're just like super sexy when
Transformer dress.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So she kind of like and like leans down, giggles as the two of you kind of get closer, like almost like playing chicken. You've got your tongues out, and like seeing who's going to do it first. And just as you're about to get close, you hear the statue go, "Ooh!" And
yes, I fucking knew it.
No. I think
I'm prepared for this.
The moment that has, I think Karu like pulls back. Oh shit! Sorry. Never do anything without consent.
And at that point, Killian's going to run over and push Karu's head straight into it.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot harder than you wouldn't. I mean, maybe you expected it to be hard, like a statue. So yeah, you're kind of shoved forward, and the statue kind of lets out a bit of a laugh of its own. It's more sort of tinkling and shrill, like glass. And there's probably like a hilarious moment where Karu's tongue is stuck to the nipple because it's cold, and there's a you gotta pull him off, and then I just love that the face of this picture is perfect for this.
It is. It's like,
Ooh, I'll never tell.
Kara's just like, what are your name? Trying to introduce himself.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, damn.
So we fast forward a little bit. Karu is eventually unstuck. Some warm water is brought forth, or some cold water perhaps to
Ollie
unstick.
definitely offers to pee on it.
Too many kinks. Too many.
One of the what appears to be some kind of servants or assistants kind of come out and bring sort of a small dish of water to pour over to unstick you, and they kind of bow at you all and say, do not be ashamed, good sirs and ladies. This happens every year.
Perfect. I think Karu looks up to the statue. He's like, "Oh, you're so lucky. What a job."
It's a living.
It's a living.
Do what you enjoy, and you'll never work a day in your life.
My man. Thank you, Dan.
No worries. Killian, I want to check in with you. Obviously shirtless from typically very, very hot places. How is Killian faring as sort of goosebumps ripple up his tan skin?
Oh, no, Killian's fine.
He's fine?
He's got fire for blood.
Okay, so he's just steaming now.
Yeah, he's just warm as shit. He just looks really cool.
So
really hot.
you probably feel a chill in terms of it's cooler than the environments you would typically be in, but you can, anyone who stands too close to Killian can feel that heat radiating from him as a counteraction.
There's a lot of humidity purely around Killian.
That's right. Yeah.
Like,
and as you step forward, each I imagine kind of each, if you cut through the snow a little bit, it starts to kind of pool and puddle around his feet. Whereas Karu, of course, you barefoot. But, the crunching of the snow under the kind of bare sea elven feet, it's not painful. It's not, it's not irritating. It's just, you definitely can feel a chill in the air. This is, the embodiment of winter deep here in the heart of the Feywild. You're all on this map, aren't you? You can see the hall?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to move forward and enter?
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Wee, that's cool. You can do that now.
Yeah.
Guys, you're gonna crash my computer.
Alright. So, once
Killian's
inside...
running back and forth.
Denied.
Yeah. So as you head in to the foyer, you can see garlands of frost winding around two spiral alabaster staircases in the grand foyer, and flakes of magical snow fall from the icicle-covered ceiling, disappearing as they touch the floor. You can see other guests kind of milling about, idly chatting, glasses of what appear to be champagne in their hand. In front of you is quite a few people, but mainly the one that takes your direct focus is a very large gentleman. Sort of the suit is already made big, but is perhaps still slightly too small for him, as you can see sort of bulging out of, but he's wearing like full black tie, a black bow tie, the cummerbund, a white vest, and then sort of a black pinstripe jacket over the top. He's got sort of a long mane of hair with white streaks through it, and a dark black beard. And as you enter, he sort of opens his big bear-like hand to you and says, "I am Lord Adula, please. Guests, welcome. I do not believe we've had the opportunity to meet. I love meeting friends of my wife.
Well, g'day there, Lord Adula. My name is Captain Paulie, and this here's my crew. You've got Yama just over here. Yama, introduce yourself.
It is an honor, sir. Thank you for inviting us into your home.
My pleasure. And he sort of shakes each of your hands very firmly. He's obviously got these big paw mitts. And this guy's probably a head and a half taller than Yama. Not quite sort of giant size by any means, but he's just a big man.
Killian's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then we have our favorite nipple licking himbo. This is Kari.
Kara's just like, hi.
An absolute pleasure to meet one of the sea folk. And he says, I've traveled, I've spent many a good time in the homelands of the sea elves. Wonderful people, great fishing all round.
Yes, we do know how to fish. You should share. And Karu is stumbling as much as I am. He's like, you should share those stories with me sometime. And Diana's like, stop it.
This is Diana, also a part of our crew.
He kind of looks her up and down, and they share. There's sort of a look shared here. It's not sort of necessarily a smoldering one. In fact, actually, why don't you all give me an insight check if you're paying attention to this specific interaction?
I feel like I am, but I have terrible insight.
Me too.
Well, I got an 18 though.
How did you get it? Oh, right.
I rolled an 18.
Talent. Yeah.
So,
No.
Kara,
That's like one of the only things that I don't have proficiency in.
I thought the one was yours. It was mine.
So,
also
Karu,
got
you're
an 18.
definitely distracted by this hunk of man. Killian, you definitely pick up that there's a moment, perhaps a little too long, where Elias kind of holds out his hand for Diana, and she kind of holds it very daintily, and he kind of, leans over and kisses her hand very gentlemanly. You definitely feel that there's something going on here. Like, you pick up more than Karu does, right? Like, you're like, what's going on? There's definitely something I'm missing. Sorry.
Definitely still confused about the sea folk fishing
Mhm.
thing, because to Killian, he just thinks that Karu's like half fish.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
like, you guys eat with that?
You eat your own people?
What the fuck is that?
Yama and Paulie, you two are a little bit more insightful, and definitely pick up that, like, as he takes her hand to kiss it, there's sort of there seems to be almost like a knowing glance between the two. Hard to describe much more than that, but there's definitely like you almost get the feeling like, do they know each other, or have they met before, or do they just like? It's almost like a recognition there.
Yeah, I reckon Paulie will file that one way, like one for later. Not gonna bring it up now. I listened to some of Yama's etiquette class.
And he has totally told you that would be rude.
Paulie goes to say something and goes, looks back at Yama.
There's a dad eyebrow.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have our sexy shirtless friend over there as well, and that is Killian.
Saving the best for last. That's it. And Killian will like walk over and be like, "Nice to meet you."
And he sort of like he gives you, because you're obviously a big sort of muscular fellow yourself. I think he gives you the almost like the warrior one, where it's like his hand grabs your forearm instead
the
of
predator handshake.
the predator handshake. Yeah. And he's not firm with it.
real
He's not trying to flex on you. He's firm, but like, within tolerance, and is just sort of like a very respectful sort of shake of the head, and says, quite an eclectic bunch. I did not expect to see of course, I did not expect my wife to know people of the Hells as well as the material and the Fey plane. But of course, she has so many wild stories of the past. Please, it is a pleasure to meet you all. I have other guests I must greet, but please avail yourselves of the house. No part of the grounds shall be off limits to you, unless if a door is locked, please just respect that, of course. But most of the doors here are open to our guests. The whole estate is available for your pleasure on this, the winter solstice.
I did have one question for you, my new chum.
Yes.
What is the outlook on shirts here? Should I put a shirt on, or am I just good to?
I have typically found clothes to be optional in most cases, though I do put in some effort for my wife when she's throwing one of these. However, I have also found that when so many people from different cultures come together, you have to suspend what you believe is rude, and most good guests will do such a thing. And if this is part of your culture, who am I to say that you must put a shirt on in my house? Please make yourself comfortable as you can. I would dare not give anyone fashion advice.
Ah, awesome. Well, thank you for that. And I just look back at Yama.
And Yama's just like, indeed, Lord Adula, you are most gracious. Is the lovely Lady Zordhanna around?
She is, of course, upstairs still getting ready. She will, I'm sure, be making her entrance once all the guests have arrived. You will hear a chime, and I will invite everyone into the grand hall, where she will, of course, grace us. And please, grab a drink. May I have our staff check your coats, or and he looks at Killian and Karu, kind of like not wearing shirts and stuff. It's like, or your socks.
Karu wiggles his toes that are just out.
Killian's like wearing really like huge heeled leather boots. He's like, nah, I feel their shoes might be quite uncomfortable without socks.
Very well. But please, I have, of course, other guests to greet, but I will not delay you any further. Please make yourself at home. You are our guests and under our protection here.
Thank you, sir.
Killian like goes to tip his hat, but he's not wearing a hat, so he just like grabs his horn and he's like,
very good. And he gives you sort of a graceful bow as you walk past. Yeah, excellent. So there's a couple of
going to a dessert table.
Oh, absolutely. There's little dessert canapes about, all sorts of other guests. Obviously I'm not going to fill this thing up with tokens for the riffraff. But yeah, you know, as soon as you look like you're standing alone looking, you know, there's a satyr or a snow elf, that sort of a ladrin that kind of arrives with a tray and offers you all kinds of delicacies. Some obviously sort of more wintry foods, but plenty of kind of rich foods, and little nibbles and all sorts from all around, not just from the Feywild.
Amazing.
Can I retcon something that my transmuter stone is my disguise stone?
Sure, yeah.
Sweet. I want to use my disguise self to make myself look a little bit more snowy than all red.
Oh yeah, so sort of a
pale blue,
pale blue tiefling look going on. Yeah, cool. I love that. Still keeping the kind of gold tattoos inlaid in.
Oh no, that all changes to like silver.
Yeah, cool.
Making himself look a little bit more elegant and less gaudy.
Yeah. So it's almost like turning down a lamp. Turning down the dimmer slightly from the red hot to kind of like the cool blue.
Yeah.
I love that. Now if I have set up this correctly, if you walk onto the staircase, it should take you to the upper floor. If you want to test that out.
Yep, it works.
Excellent. Love that.
Ooh.
Katie, you were about to say something.
I was going to say that Karu goes up to where Yama is at the dessert table, and he just kind of leans in and he just whispers, "What are we doing here again?"
Well, the lady of the house, Lady Zordhanna, she is wearing what I imagine to be a very gaudy and very shiny and very attractive to the captain diamond that we need to pilfer from her breast. That
Ooh.
will hopefully, yes, sorry that I said breast. Please focus.
I'm
This-
sorry I
at
am the
this-
way I am.
At that, Killian's like, did I hear pilfer and breast? He just like walks over.
He's like halfway up the stairs and he's like, "Wait a minute."
Sounds like me.
Don't let the waiters hear you. But yes, we're here to steal the diamond from the lady of the house
Hmm.
so
The one-
that we can get into the Captain Featherstone's Featherstorm's treasure,
Right. Yeah. Okay.
or at least
so,
find it.
so what we need to do is we need to find out if they're in an open relationship, and then we need to do the Yama seduction plan that we always do. And you need to seduce her
Well,
and steal the
Did
diamond.
you notice that he has already had quite the moment with your Diana? And he
Huh?
like looks over at Diana, who's maybe like off, I don't know, perusing.
Yeah. Wait, what? No, I didn't see what.
Yeah, they held hands for a moment, perhaps too long. You don't think she knows him, do you?
I'm
Maybe
gonna ask.
you could ask. Yeah.
And then like Kara's like, "I'm gonna ask," and just whips around.
I'll go ask him. Killian goes to turn around as well.
I love this. Yoma's just like, my work here is done.
Yama's like, "Finally, I can go back to snacks."
He's still taking one of everything, of all the little dessert cakes.
Yeah. Kara's gonna like beeline to Diana and just be like, "Hey, how's your night going?"
Oh yeah, this place is amazing. I was a little bit worried about coming back to the Feywild. I had an okay experience before, but it's nice to come on pleasure and not work.
Yeah. Do you know the guy? Do you know the host?
Well, no, I just met him then.
Insight.
Sure.
Do I have terrible
I-
insight? Yes.
Can I insight as I walk by as well?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
you definitely. She's not lying. She's not like this is actually the first time she's met the guy. But Killian, you definitely think that there, was some like she's holding something back. Yeah, and it's like that thing where you know something, but it's not your secret to tell. You know what I mean? When someone's like evasive like that, they're like, "Oh, look, no, like, don't worry about it," you know, like, and it's not for their own, like, it's not embarrassing for them or something, but they're like, you can tell that they're kind of like doing it for someone else.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
So-
Kara's
so-
just like,
So Diana's like,
well,
"Oh no, I just met him then." But look, I'll tell you about it later. But you know, she kind of looks around. There's like people everywhere.
we can go somewhere quiet. You okay?
Yeah. You know, this is amazing. This is great.
Huh, okay.
Killian's
Well, it's just-
like, "What this?" and then looks back at the guy and is like, just thinks to himself, "I want to ask him."
What was that? I
Alright.
missed that last bit. Was it you want to ask
Killian's
him?
like thinking to himself, he's like, "I kind of want to ask him now," because he's like, "That didn't seem right. I'm gonna ask the other guy." But then he's like, he won't.
Sure.
With an insider, with a nat 20, he'll be like, "Maybe not. Maybe I'll leave it alone."
Yeah. Based on her comment, you definitely think that it's not about her. It's about him. But she is definitely truthful in that this is the first time she's met the guy.
I just want to really congratulate Kate for taking on the Yama role so perfectly by also having a dessert snack while we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to play the
was-
part.
We were really just talking about it, and I was like, oh, I have ice creams in the fridge.
Yes.
Actually, I do too.
Oh, it's
There we
all
go.
happening.
God damn it.
Sorry, Katie.
It's funny.
So if you'd like to explore further, or obviously just spend time at the dessert table, of course all things are welcome. There's sort of like a coat check kind of area before going into the main ballroom. Yama, you kind of make your way forward. There is a sort of grey-haired, very upbeat-looking satyr who says, "Excuse me," and I assume Yama's kind of like double-fisting treats.
100%.
No booze, and sort of this satyr kind of emerges. He's sort of that goat bottom half, human top half kind of person, and he says, "Excuse me, sirs and madam, would you like us to take your coats, or would you like to check anything so that you may better enjoy your evening with us?"
Well, indeed, kind sir. Will you take the best of care of this? It is quite, sentimental to me. And, he'll remove his dash, and hand it over to the attendant.
Of course, my lord. And I think he maybe goes to say, "My lord." He looks up, sees the crown, and says, "Of course, your grace."
Oh, yeah.
And takes the sash and kind of very very gently maintains, hangs it on hooks, and sets it up so it's all very nicely up here.
Oh, yeah. Let's go dance.
So you enter into the main ballroom. A jaunty waltz draws you into the ballroom itself. Above the dancing crowd, there spins a glittering chandelier that appears to be crafted from equal parts silver and frost, with icicles hanging from the vaulted ceiling, sparkling in the light like jewels. A 20-foot-high balcony overlooks the ballroom floor, and then the roof above that is even further. You can see maybe 6 or 8 kind of different kind of nobles dancing here, and you can see more of those ice decorations sort of in different positions around the edges of the room, some on sconces and whatnot. As you look around, you see a very familiar face. Instantly, you recognize a small fairy dragon with armored gauntlets and a sword and a swooshy kind of Fu Manchu mustache.
Is he with somebody at the moment?
He is. The gentleman next to him appears to be kind of looking on fondly and kind of sort of cheering and also eating plenty of food. And he is a very sort of summery looking elf man. Also not really wearing a shirt.
I was going to say, he's kind of like Karu's opposite in
Oh, yeah, totally.
In
He looks
aesthetic.
very dry.
yeah, Karu's just going,
Sir Talamar, it's good to see you. Well met. I guess you did indeed say you'd be here.
He flies up to you and sort of bows deeply and says, your grace, the immovable mountain. It is an honor to see you in the Fey once again. And of course, your compatriots. And he turns and says, I gotta find the name of this guy. Lord Clemency, may I introduce His Grace, the Witchlight King himself, Yama. Would you have given him a last name at any point? He just says Yama. It's it's first name basis.
Yeah, not a last name, only the immovable mountain part.
Mm-hmm. And the summer elf kind of steps forward, light on his feet, a little airy, and just says, a pleasure to meet you, your grace. our knight here has said only wonderful things about you. We have, of course, heard of your heroic tales in freeing Sir Talavar here, and my queen sends her best regards. Unfortunately, of course, she could not make it, but she wishes she could be here to tell you this in person. And through me, her thanks are given. And you can feel this kind of just like light radiating from him as he talks, this kind of dry warmth.
Indeed, so kind. And I would love to introduce my compatriots also. My captain, Polly. To my right, Karu. And there is one other somewhere else.
I guess Diana would have joined you on the ballroom floor for sure.
Yeah.
And so he welcomes you all, sort of takes all your names, and kind of is that bright beaming smile in here. Paulie, give me a perception check, would you?
Yes.
What was his name again?
Lord Clemency.
That's a pretty good one.
Thank you.
27.
So you're kind of swept up in this, like I think it's probably just as you've entered the room, Talavar's kind of rolled up to Yama to kind of greet him as soon as he is seen. You're kind of taking all this in, this large, larger than life and, somewhat large elven man. You're momentarily distracted by the dryad triplets that are off in the corner of the room, but a shiver goes down your spine, completely unrelated to the cold. You hear the sound of wind, the clink of coin, and it is recognizable to you. A spark almost flies through your feathers, putting your mullet on edge.
Mm-hmm.
As you turn, first you see, with the glint of coin, a air elemental swirling with gems and coins. And that can only mean one thing. The man standing next to him, with an eye patch, is the man of your nightmares. And he looks like this. So we've got Treasure Elemental.
Ooh.
And where's my other guy? He's a lot smaller than you last saw him in, but he's unmistakably your father, well, captor. And you, as soon as you lock eyes with his one eye, he opens his arms wide and says, "Polly, my boy, return to me like I knew you would."
Yama, what are the Fey rules on murdering someone on the dance floor?
Could it wait until a private moment? And
As long
I
as you
will
don't
help
kill the crew.
you?
Yeah, Killian's like, I murder people on the dance floor every time I get out there.
Oh my god,
Like,
shut up.
completely misses everything that's going on right now. Killian's like, who the fuck's that guy?
I love the idea that Murder on the Dance Floor starts playing
Yeah.
in this video, in this cinematic version of Paulie and this guy.
There's a Fey version of Sophie Ellis Bextor coming onto the stage doing a little dance.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Killian.
Yes,
It is
yes.
Killian.
It's killing.
Better not kill the groove.
Paulie is going to, like, with gritted beak, go, "Now, excuse me, Sir Talavar and Mr. Feylord. I need to go deal with something. And I'm going to leave the conversation." No.
Okay.
Killian will just follow behind and be like, where we going? What's happening, Polly? What's happening?
Yeah,
Killian,
Kara's
leave.
also like, hang on, wait, what the fuck?
Killian, Karu, please just give me some time.
Okay. Hey,
Can I-
Killian.
I'll
No,
talk to
Killian,
this
dance
guy
with
over
me.
here.
Dally. No, Killian, dance with me.
I want to talk to this guy. He looks like the Count of Nostradamus.
All right, fine. Diana, dance with me.
So in one hand he's got a glass of champagne. In the other hand he's got a small sandwich. His hands are clearly full. No weaponry in his hands, but his arms are wide, and he's like, "You became a pirate yet, didn't you, boy? What brings
thanks
you
you.
here?"
Many things. Didn't think I'd see you here.
Oh, I knew I'd see you here.
Ah, is that why you're here?
Oh, no, of course. It's not all about you, young one. Old chip off the old block you are. But no, Lady Adula is an old friend of mine. And of course, I was given an invitation. An honored guest, I am.
There's nothing honoured about your presence. We both know that. And there's nothing I'm going to say about that either.
Oh, isn't he a card? He hasn't changed, has he? And the whirlwind full of coins kind of clinks a little bit.
So I remember this treasure golem too. Does it have a name?
You tell me. This was this is his quartermaster, the air elemental that carries all the treasure.
I'm gonna call him Clinky.
Clinky. Yep.
Clinky. Look, why are you still with him? You know what I mean? You could do so much better. Look, I've got a pirate crew now. We always talked about it.
And like all he responds in is like the clink and whirring of wind and treasure. But like you have a understanding. He's conveying to you that he swore an oath. Whilst a pirate will forever break his word, he cannot break his oath. Or maybe it's he can only break oaths, but he can't go back on his word. One of those two. You've heard this before. Like he conveys all of that. The misinterpretation of the etymology of that saying, that whole thing. Classic Clinky.
Well, I'd love to say the pleasure was all mine, but that would be a bold-faced lie.
He does give
both
it's good to see you.
We are both guests here, and that is the only thing keeping me from shooting you in the fucking head right now and taking your other eye.
He's funny, isn't he?
I'm just gonna go. I've still got it, I look at it, and it makes me very happy knowing that you can't see.
He grins at you, but you can tell it's a false mask. Like he's, behind there is anger. You have definitely hit on something there that he is, this actually upsets him.
You want to know where I keep it? Because I bet you do. I keep it in my piss pot, and it sits there in my own fucking stew. Everything that comes out of me, I make sure it lands on you.
Didn't I say, Clinky, a chip off the old block? A truer pirate, perhaps, was never seen. Holds a grudge, I'll give him that, but he'll come about. I see you taking to my life, son. I see you enjoying it.
Quit calling me your son. Nothing about our relationship resembles anything that would be fatherhood.
That's
next
okay.
time I see you, my sword will be through your gut, and my crew will be dismantling you limb from fucking limb, and I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to walk over and kind of intercept as well.
As Paulie walks
him.
away, sure. You kind of grab, as he walks through the crowd or whatever. I think the storm giant pirate, the pirate lord, he sort of calls out over the crowd. You're not him, boy, but you could be if you just come on back where ye belong.
And you're no one, and you were only someone when you thought you could keep me captive. And then I continue to walk off.
Yeah. And the a couple of people turn to look, but this seems to be par for the course. Like in the Feywild, perhaps nobles getting together and yelling obscenities at each other, and then sometimes becoming best friends afterwards. Probably not in this case. So yeah, Yama kind of intercepts you, and did you want to sort of check in on him or something, Kate? Is this?
Yeah,
And then I'll cut over to
maybe,
Killian and who he's chatting with.
So maybe Yama just kind of grabs you and like just links arms with you as you're walking back across. And he kind of leans in. Who was that?
It's him.
The man from that dreamscape.
My father.
He was the one that we fought and was like a giant, right? How is he here? How is he this size?
Obviously, he knows Lady Adula.
Mm.
And what you taught me about the Fey court is the only thing that stopped me from murdering him the second I saw him.
Well, perhaps we can catch him on the way out then. There is absolutely nothing that stops us from making that play.
If I'm honest,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it backhandedly. I want to meet him on the open sea because we are stronger and we are better than him.
I'm very proud. I agree. I know you and I have obviously made each our own enemies. We're definitely stronger together. We fought lots of enemies and we can totally take him down. Plus, there are a few friendlies here. Perhaps we can recruit them to our side.
Yep. I think the best thing we can do is get that treasure. I need to get out of this mood. I need to get a drink. I need to go dance with Karu and Diana and not think about him and make him the last thing that matters in this room. Because I've got you guys here and that's what matters.
Mm-hmm. And cake.
Ooh, cake.
Also, Dan, before we cut over to who I'm talking to,
Sure.
I sent you a message on Discord.
Oh.
Well, sneaky.
We love sneaky.
Yeah, I hear you, and everything's plans within plans. Dylan, don't even worry about it.
Very good.
Don't even worry
Very
about it.
good.
You'll enjoy it, I bet. Cool. We cut over to Killian, who is midway through a conversation with a gentleman who introduces himself, and he has a couple of people with him. He's he's kind of he's got a little bit of Fey about him, but he's more human, so he's maybe perhaps some kind of half elf or something like that. But he introduces himself as Cormac the Conjurer, Magus of the East, Pen of the Gods, Teller of Tales, and he is
One to talk to.
He has as you have gathered, he has an incredible top hat. And staff, and he has like a long kind of coattails jacket and fiery red hair.
Magus, you say?
Oh, the most esteemed Magus in all 8 realms, my good sir. Do not worry. I hear you think to yourself, will I miss the magic? You will not, my friend.
Okay, wow. I want to make a contested Arcana check against him and just like flex the magical muscle, so to speak, and just assess his magical prowess.
Okay. Yeah, so you just kind of start like putting off you're pulling into your weave and like kind of emanating your aura of magic that you have.
Yeah, like when I reach out to shake his hand.
Sure. Yeah.
And just, assess him.
Your magic comes up against no resistance whatsoever.
Yep,
It washes over him, parts around him like a rock in an ocean or in a stream, and he doesn't even seem to notice.
Okay.
And when you take your hand back, in your hand is a card that says the Great Magus, and then it says under that, the magic is within you.
Ah, okay. I look at the card and I'm like, oh, wow. That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's,
I know.
Yeah. So Magus,
I think you might
or...
have a bit of a gift. You might even have some of the gift, my young friend. Perhaps
Do you think so?
after years of study, you could be just as good as me, if not better. And he kind of clicks his gloved fingers, and one of like his beautifully done up, clearly kind of stage magician woman comes forward, shuffles forward with a little box. He says, "A gift to you to culminate our meeting," and he hands you, or she hands you a thing, and you can see on there, it's a box, and it says "My First Magic Kit." And it has scarves, appearing flower, 3 cups and a felt ball. Like, it has sort of 8 different starter close-up magic things, and a how-to guide in there.
So at that, Killian's gonna be like, "You think so? That's amazing. Here, let me try. Give me a minute. Give me a second. I'm gonna try this." And then like a second goes by, and then there's like a quick, like a little. He does a little flourish, and a coat appears on Killian, but it's in a deck of cards.
With enough ale,
the logo.
maybe they can be inured against the horrors below.
Extraordinaire, and he just turns it around and walks away.
Yeah. And he's like, very good. You'll get there.
Killian's like walking away. He's like, that guy, what a fucking idiot. Holy, remind me to murder that guy later.
I've either successfully put people in this room that some of you want to kill, and then other people in this room that the other of you in the group just want to sleep with. There's no in between.
So far, I'm 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Yalmo's keeping a tally. There's 2 columns.
Killian's like, I'm gonna murder that guy and steal his jacket.
Mm-hmm.
You have a jacket.
His is cool, and he's an idiot.
It's at this time that the music kind of stops, and a bunch of people kind of coming into the hall. Some chimes begin to play, and a figure. As everyone kind of hushes up, there's sort of a susurrus of like, shh, as people kind of extend to the edges of the hall and begin looking up, and from there, the big icicle chandelier, a storm of snow and ice starts forming. And it appears to kind of form into almost like a person, and then explodes out, ice shattering in every direction. But as it gets close to you, as it gets close to the walls, it turns harmlessly into snowflakes that fall delicately and just disappear as they touch anything. And a woman descends down from behind the beautiful display. Sort of black hair, kind of done up in sort of a low kind of bun, off the shoulder, white fur, long white gloves, and a proper kind of ball gown. And this is clearly, especially as you get a glance at the solitaire diamond about her neck, Lady Adula.
Ooh.
Ooh. We gotta steal that diamond, I say quietly.
Karu yells across the room.
I'm gonna get that diamond! Yeah.
Diana, that's the diamond!
That's the one we want to steal!
Gesticulating like.
I assume not. So she descends down, and as she lands, a sort of glass throne, or sort of an ice throne almost made of diamond itself, kind of forms up under her like reverse melting ice, and forms up for her to land in, and everyone kind of gives that kind of polite high society clap as she lands, and she says, "Welcome all to yet another beautiful winter solstice. I have invited you all again this year to have a beautiful time as we head into the darkest moments of the year. I would like to thank my beautiful husband, Lord Adula, for being a rock in this trying time as I go into planning mode once again. I'm, of course, very eager for everything you shall see this year. A night to remember. There shall be ice skating, there shall be magic, and of course, feasting and merriment. We shall take in the sights, the sounds, and the joys of winter." So a nice little
golf clap. Ollie goes, woo!
Killian's like clapping on his chest, but like rummaging around in his bag of holding, like, what can I give as a gift?
Of course, we shall begin, as we do every year, greeting old friends and new, the giving of gifts, and then I will invite you all to dine and dance, and perhaps even you could win a spin with me around the dance floor. The night will not end until we are satisfied. And she...
Is that a guarantee? Do we have to be satisfied? Everyone has to be satisfied?
That's right.
That's saying. Is that a yes? Is that what we're expecting here?
How you interpret that is how you interpret that, But you can certainly see sort of out the big glass windows, but either side of this hall there's sort of a big frozen over lake, and as she kind of gestures, but do not hold off the party on my account. Please meet each other. I shall, of course, be with you shortly. And she, people start, people clap and cheer, and then kind of go about kind of mingling again, as she kind of looks on, like the Queen from Bridgerton, kind of like overlooking the excellence of the party before her. And people start to, some people start going around to giving each other gifts, and people that they know or people that they'd like to know, and handing out gifts to each other. And yeah.
Wally goes, "Hey guys, all right, quick crew huddle."
Killian was like walking towards the Queen because he's like, I don't understand. He's like, okay.
All right, come in.
Hand outstretched to steal the diamond.
Killian was gonna walk over and just stand there with a gift and just wait with a big grin on his face.
Already thought of something we can do to steal the diamond. I'll tell you guys later, but just go along with it. Alrighty, for now.
I feel like I need to know before I'm gonna go along with it.
I say.
Well, she said that we this night won't end until we're all satisfied. Well, I won't be satisfied until I have possession of that diamond.
Means we could be here a very long time.
I mean, and she said that that we must all be satisfied before the night ends.
I won't be satisfied until that guy dies, and I point at the fucking magician in the corner again.
While you're having this huddle, Plinky, the air elemental, has turned into his kind of like cyclone form and has kind of leapt out into in front of I guess your former captor has kind of approached her and says, Lady Adula, it is a pleasure. Thank you for this most gracious invite once again. And you're kind of overhearing this while you're having your team huddle.
Totally am listening though. Yeah.
And she says, "Well, you haven't cleaned up any better since last year, but it is, I suppose, always a pleasure to see people from the old life." And he grins as he says, "You have not aged a day, my dear. Are you sure you don't spend more than one night in the Feywild, where the time is ageless?" And she kind of, she's, giving the whole like, "Oh, I don't really love, being complimented" kind of air about her. Maybe she does though. Maybe it's put on for the crowd. And he says, "Of course, a gift for you, since we're such good friends, and a gift for your guests." And he kind of looks over, and Clinky has turned into this whirlwind of gems and coins, and he shoots up into the air, almost like a spring, deposits himself, kind of bounces in front of Lady Adula, almost like pooping a large sapphire onto the floor. And then as he springs back up again, gems of all different kind of makes fly out into the room to waiting. And people kind of catch them if they do, or if they don't notice them, it kind of clinks off them. They're like, oh, of course, thank you. And there's a bit of a,
Don't grab them, guys. It's blood money. That sucks.
I'm just gonna say to Paulie while we're in
First time Paulie's ever said that.
He's gonna be like, "God damn it, Paulie! Now I need to murder that guy too. He cut in line in front of me."
Are there any diamonds?
Any diamonds? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's probably a couple of ones, but they're definitely smaller than the solitaire diamond, the Heart of the Storm. Yeah.
Yama, that's a blood diamond. Didn't you hear Paulie?
Yeah, but
Meanwhile, Killian's picking up
I can
diamonds
use.
and, shit on the floor.
Yeah, Yama definitely picks up a couple of the diamonds, and he's like, "But I can use these against it. Isn't that worth it?"
Yes, it is. Grab as many as you need to.
Killian's like, "Here you go." And just hands over a basket of rocks. He's just been grabbing shit off the floor. Like, what do you think? Don't take
I think that there's sort of enough for one for everyone equivalent kind of thing. But if you guys pool your catches, then you can get a couple of diamonds, sure. Yeah.
Killian's gonna walk over now and be like, "Hey there,
I wanted
bub,
to
it's
finish
my
the
turn."
huddle.
Bad.
All right.
Guy now, or
Killian's left the
friend or
huddle.
something.
Right, you can go do that. All right, I'll continue afterwards.
I think he's the pirate giant who's kind of standing there looking very smug and pleased. Killian, you walk up and give him the "Hey bub, you cut in line. It's my turn," kind of equivalent. Is that right?
Yep, that's exactly what he says.
Yeah. And he kind of turns slowly to look at you, looks you up and down, and a big grin on his face. He's got a gold tooth with a gem in it. That one eye kind of looking at you from underneath the hat, and he looks back up at Lady Adula and says, "Young pirates, were we ever so precocious?" And she says, "Oh, I was only a pirate part-time, you remember. I had other things to do out on the open sea." And he kind of grins and smiles, and gives her a nod and kind of looks at you, Killian, and kind of eyes you. He's maybe a half a head taller than you, but you can feel almost like a density to him of a creature 10 times his size, almost condensed down.
He'd be exactly the same as Killian, because Killian's wearing his heeled boots.
Yeah.
So they're 5.5-inch heels.
Yeah.
For a gentleman 6.
Yeah. A gentleman
so he's
6.
Just direct eye contact with this guy, and he gets a vibe, and he's like, "Still my turn, bub."
And he looks over at Paulie, and he looks back at you, and says, "How is it working for the young Captain Parrot? What is he now? What is he calling himself? Captain
Wait.
Parrot, whatever."
The storm? Who are you talking about?
me.
Killian has no idea of because Paul, you told him to go away, so Killian knows no context.
Yeah.
Killian's like, how do you know him?
Are you?
Killian just doesn't like this guy on instinct.
Yeah. Isn't that your captain, Paulie, the
My friend,
parrot? Oh,
Cochrane.
you're not a member of his crew. Yeah.
At this, Killian would like drop his disguise, and he just looks full on like his dark skin, full gold,
Mm-hmm.
and his his
Oh.
torn off coat. Like he looks the part.
I see. Interesting. And you can see unlike the great magus, you feel an energy on this man. No roll required. Like you feel a crackling of lightning, like almost like in a storm ready to erupt.
Yeah, I imagine it feels something like one of my draconic spirits, like a blue draconic spirit or something.
Yeah, you can
But a
feel
lot
it. It's
more
not it's not overtly trying to oppress you, but it's certainly there, kind of behind the surface, almost like a thunderstorm in the back, off in the distance. You can hear the rumbling. You're not really sure where it's coming from as he kind of eyes you, and then smiles and says, "I see you got one of our gems. Perhaps when you're a big pirate yourself one day, you'll have treasure to share about, eh? There's a good lad." And he'll kind of wave over at Adula. He's like, "Clinky, come with me." And they'll kind of make their way out of the ballroom.
Wait, are they gonna leave?
They appear to be leaving the ballroom.
Before
Okay,
he
one
goes
second.
to leave, I just want to, when he turns his back, this will stop. This I'm hoping stops him from walking away.
Mhm.
But like, oh, but you're going to leave without my gift, and I'll flick a platinum at the back of his head. He threw a rock at my head.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
He,
I'll mark
without
him for
turning around, you're dead on, straight true with a piece of platinum thrown at the back of his head. You feel kind of a gust of wind, and it tumbles there in the air behind him. Blinky has caught it.
Enjoy that platinum there, old fella. Sounds like you might need it in retirement.
I shall keep this platinum and use it to buy flowers on your captain's grave. And he kisses the platinum and puts it in his breast pocket.
At that, Killian doesn't give a shit about the queen anymore. He's just staring at the guy. Like, intensity from Killian. But not provoking.
Sure.
Just intensity.
Yeah,
Everyone in the room, like, everyone in our group would know what this means for Killian.
Yeah. Cool. Did you want to approach, or does someone else have something they want to jump in here? I know we're jumping about a bit, but if anyone has a kind of scene or a moment they want to do, or I'm happy to continue with Killian, of course, but just want to make sure.
I want to be clear, I was halting him for Paulie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did want to do the same thing to him, but I wanted to finish the puzzle first.
Yeah, so yeah, that kind of moment breaks out. Paulie, you see Killian kind of standing up for you to a certain extent with the, trying to give him shit, maybe unknowingly, because Killian doesn't really know who this guy is. But
if he stayed in the huddle, he would have known.
Well, let's cut back to the huddle. Paulie, Karu, Yama, and Diana.
One thing bearing in mind, I've flicked a platinum at him. I have keen mind. I can remember the markings on that platinum, so if it's tarnished or anything.
Sure.
So I can locate object that platinum to find out where he is later.
Mm-hmm.
Because Killian wants to fucking murder him without without knowing what's happening. Killian just hates this guy as well.
I mean, I'll even let you go as far as like you've scratched it slightly in a particular way to make it like stand out a little bit, right? For sure. Cool. Paulie, Karu, Yama, and Diana in the huddle. I want to hear what's happening in the huddle whilst this is going on. Bonus points if you're able to stop your huddle to react to what Killian just did, and then go back to huddling.
Okay, so we can do that part. We should definitely mingle, and then maybe if you guys can figure out a better plan to how we could steal it. Because otherwise, I mean, we could just win that dance, and then I could try steal it off her while I'm dancing with her.
Wait, what was the plan? What was your first plan?
The first plan was
That
just to
was
stay.
just to ask for it.
Yep.
Slash demand it.
Yeah.
Which makes me.
By Fey rules, right?
It makes
I
my
won't be
skin crawl.
satisfied. I won't be satisfied until I have the possession of the diamond.
Maybe that's our last option
Plan
because we
G.
can say that as we're leaving.
Yep.
Okay.
Plan G. Let's just say, because I just thought
What
it was good.
What is Killian doing over there? By the way, he's just yelling at that guy.
That's my captor slash dad. He's a dickhead.
Yeah, but Killian has never met him, right? He
No,
wasn't there.
Sometimes he just likes to go off on a little tangent and then create situations that usually work out pretty well for all of us. But this one, I don't see it ending well.
He's definitely picked the right enemy. Oh my god, you just threw a coin at his head.
Hey, that's my thing. That's my thing, Killian. First you take talent off me, and now you're flicking coins at people? Come on, bud.
Just
Killian,
get him
like,
to come
snaps
over
his head
here.
over. He's like, I saw you do it. It looked cool.
Just come over here. You don't even know what you're doing. Who
Wait,
that guy is.
I'm doing something. I'll be back.
I loved that. Thank you. That was brilliant.
And then Killian turns back around to the queen.
Yeah. Now, because you've had to come back and respond, you've lost your place in the queue.
Yeah, I'll jump back a couple of places.
Yeah. You have to wait a little bit now.
God damn it.
The three dryads are in front.
Yeah. They give a little
Magician doesn't
sapling.
get in front of me.
They've brought a bunch of little sapling cuttings and
We have to watch it grow
hand
for
one.
about half an hour to 45 minutes before. It's like, no, wait. This is the best part.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, you're not watching. You're not watching. This bit.
Keep
When
watching.
it does this bit, when it does this. Oh my god, yeah!
Whoa. Yeah, wait for it. Wait 1 second. Wait, watch this next part. This is really cool.
Yeah.
It takes about 15 to 20 minutes, though.
It takes 15 to 20 lifetimes.
Leaning over, come on, guys. Are you guys almost done?
So they're speaking in Sylvan to Lady Adula. She's kind of nodding sagely, and they hand her so essentially a little pot plant sapling. It just looks like a twig in a bit of dirt, with a bark pot, and she sort of gracefully receives it and kind of of course, and coos over it and so on. And then the dryads kind of spread out throughout the room and also hand out the same gift to kind of other people, including you all. Not you all get one, but as a party you get one. It's sort of one for each group. So you have a sapling.
That story reminds me of a time I went to a Christmas party and very short story, and one family gave everybody else one Christmas cookie per family, and one of the families was a family of 7, and they just held the cookie up and they said, I guess we split this into 7.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining with the sapling, where it's a group of 20 are just one? How do we divide this up? Yeah, just a leaf each.
In 20
We'll
years.
put it in the ship. Thank you very much for your gift.
Yeah. And do any of you speak Sylvan?
No.
I barely speak common.
Cool. They say something that's probably very lovely and nice, and I assume you do the yes, you're understanding the sweet leafy sounds of Sylvan as they talk to you, and kind of hand you the sapling, and they.
What? By the way, I can speak Auran, so I actually totally can speak to Clinky, which is the air elemental.
There you go.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought about that right then. I looked at my language and was like, wait a second.
There's a reason that's on there. There's a reason that's
Huh?
on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very glad that Killian's not a part of the group when the sapling's handed over, because he can't speak Sylvan, but he would have definitely gone to speak back in Infernal, which would have just sounded like insults.
Yeah.
Is Killian next in line?
Sure, he can be.
Karu wants to slide in front of him.
Killian will be go to step forward, and then Kara will be
just in front, and just turns around and just gives him a sly smile, and then turn back.
If I can aid in this, if I may, interject into this. I think Diana gets up to Killian's side and is like, "Oh, what are you going to give her?" And it's like Killian turns to her. Kara's sidled in when he looks back. He's like, "God damn it."
Killian's been given too long to sort out what he's going to give, so this gift is just getting more and more outlandish.
Yeah, brilliant. Haru, you're first in the line.
Yeah, sorry, what was her name again?
Lady Adula.
Okay, I think Karu maybe sort of takes on a demeanor that people don't usually see of him. Because, he is a military boy, so he does actually have, like, the right kind of, like, decorum. Katie doesn't, though. So, but he does. He's just like, Lady Abdullah, it's wonderful to make your acquaintance. I've heard that. I also think he learns a little bit off Yama as well. Hanging around Yama and hearing how Yama speaks. So he's doing his military knowledge and Yama teachings. And he's just like, I've heard that it is custom in the Feywild to exchange gifts at places like this. Is that correct?
Of course. I am quite the student of Fey custom. I confess this is but a holiday home, but I treat it like a second home.
Yeah. Huh. I get that. Well, I have a gift for you. It's...
Oh, you're too kind. Like she wasn't expecting it.
I know. And he's like, I am not one to have lavish, expensive things. You have such beautiful finery. Wearing it, the diamond around your neck in particular is absolutely stunning. But
this old thing, gift from a past life.
I get that. Actually, that's kind of what I think mine is as well. And he, you see him, sort of taking, the clasp off, and he pulls out the necklace that has the shark tooth, dog tags on it. And he goes, yeah, mine's... Sometimes I think with past lives, it's good to just remember them and to give them new meaning with someone else. And he hands, very delicately presents to her the shark tooth necklace that him and his brother, carved together. And he's like, this is of great sentimental value and holds a lot of precious memories, so it is of great worth to me. And while it might not seem much to you, I would love it if you would accept it as a gift.
She sort of holds it and she says, I can feel the weight of those beautiful memories. Thank you. I will treasure this and think of you and your brother as we head into the shortest day of the year. This warmth will light the way towards a new dawn. And she says, of course, something so beautiful and kind and positive and perhaps tinged with not regret, but that, and she kind of almost weighs it in her hand as if feeling for the emotion that is there. Longing, loss. I can only, of course, repay it in kind. And she reaches up, but then keeps reaching up and pulls the flower.
My neck is so bare all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Tara's just
bonus points, Katie. I love the play. But I think she will take the flower from her hair and hand it to you. And as you take it, you can feel it's almost like you feel the memory that's stored in this thing. It's not a tangible thing. It's not something you could actively kind of access, but you feel almost like that kind of not young love, but like that kind of giddiness that you have when, you know, you're with someone and you don't know, you don't know what's going to happen, but you're kind of going with it. And she hands it to you. She says, my husband gave me that to signify the start of our courtship together. And I hope that its positive memory of love and support and beauty and strength will fill the hole where that loss has carved out for you. And I think it'll look great on you.
Damn, nice one. That was really good. That was
I
really
love
good there,
that.
Dan. Good job.
Yeah.
If Katie's bringing their
Well,
A
they
game,
didn't-
I gotta bring my A game. I'm sweating back here.
Karu like takes the flower and he holds it like very preciously, like in his hand, and he goes, "Yes, I think this will indeed fill the hole that was left, and I thank you so much." And he like does a little bow, and then he like sticks his tongue out at Killian as he like, walks away. But then he walks over to Yama and Paulie, and very quietly, in a very fierce whimper, he's like, "We've got to steal my necklace back." And he pulls it. "I want it back. I thought I could get the necklace off her. I thought she'd give me a necklace." But he is like, he's kind of like hesitating for a bit with the flower because he's like, "I've got to."
Can Yama take it from your hand
Yes.
and gently put it up into your hair, like maybe in the way that she had it?
Yay.
As you're like fussing and like worrying about your necklace, and Yama's like, "It's okay, it's okay," and then just like clips it on.
I love that.
We'll get it back.
Well, it's clipped in your hair. You certainly, you feel like, you feel seen, you feel like taken care of, you feel like the most beautiful drow at the ball. I
All
think
right, Killian, you can go now.
Diana does that thing where she's like, goes to step forward, but is like, oh, and then just, "Please, after you. Officers first."
Okay. Killian will take a step up like around Karu, right up to the stage, and then realize that he's just like way too close, and will step back.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll like he'll take a bow, or he'll take a knee, and would be like, "Your Grace, so you'll have to bear with me. I don't understand how this works. As you can see, I'm not from these parts or their parts. So this is
We
strange to
welcome
me."
all here this night of nights of the twilight. You have traveled far.
Oh, don't you know it? But yeah, I read in a book that it's customary to give gifts. And I don't have, like, Killian's quickly just like going through his stuff. He's like, "I don't have much, but I like looks over at the group. He's like, "I suppose this might do." And he like unpins his cloak,
Mm-hmm.
and he takes off his like robe of eyes, gives it a quick dusting, so it's like it's good, nice and clean.
Just tiny little
he did-
flecks of brimstone fall onto the floor.
He's like, sorry, I'll clean that in
Like,
a moment. Sorry.
infinitesimally small. That's fine.
Yep. He's like, I'll get a dustpan or something. The magician could magic it away. I like fold it up nice and neat into like a little triangle pocket. Just looks like a little like a samosa, oversized samosa with a bunch of eyes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Real creepy to look at like this. It's just looking everywhere. And I will like get up off my knee and like place it, like hold it out to her.
Mm.
And say, I would gift to you my what gives me the ability to see what is coming for me. I don't need it anymore. Got these guys. They have my back more often than not. Had this a while. It's helped me a lot. It's my most prized possession. But I couldn't in this moment. I couldn't think of anyone better to gift it onto. So yeah. I guess this is yours now. And I also sent you a message. Because we did talk about this a little while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, because that's where my head was at. Or that's what I planned around the thing I wrote. Is that okay, or do I need to go back to the drawing board?
Yeah, that'll be okay. Because I was thinking this being what it is would be
Sure.
one of those things.
Let's circle back about that afterwards, just so we're not for everyone's time. But I'll go with what I have, but we'll discuss.
Yes.
So she sort of takes it, sees the little sort of magic eyes sprout on it as she kind of like takes it from you. And she's,
With enough ale,
beautiful,
maybe they can be
wonderful
inured against the horrors below.
and given with such humility and grace. I welcome you, Far Wanderer. And she says, I welcome you into my home as if you were our own. And she steps forward and plants a kiss on your forehead. You may take
you.
that back to your people.
I don't know how well they'll receive. My people aren't very, they don't like that.
Yeah, Yama's standing
But
there
I'll-
like.
I'll cherish it fondly. And I take like a half a step back, and then I turn and walk back over to the group. Like no one's seen Killian be this like formal before.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you all just saw Killian give away one of his sort of artifact kind of magic items that he takes with him everywhere.
And accept a kiss on the head.
Never wash your forehead again.
Oh, I won't.
You never let me kiss you on the head.
Sorry.
You're gonna be like lightly gesture towards the queen, and then gesture towards Yama and be like, "You're beautiful in your own right, but like, give me a kiss on the. Now you're
Nah.
allowed to kiss me on the forehead."
Don't give it to him. Don't give it to him, Yama. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't cherish your worth. You kiss on
Yeah.
No,
You got to appreciate the forehead kisses, okay?
Yeah, forehead kiss
I'll
from
keep
Yama.
this
is
for
just like-
myself.
Yeah, you give it to him when he's truly earned it.
No, but now I don't want it. And then you're gonna replace the queens?
As
You don't deserve it.
as you're having this conversation, you see that the Lord Clemency, the Sun Elf, has kind of come back from giving a gift to Lady Adula, and he kind of rejoins your group, and he's like, the formalities are about over, and we need to brighten things up a little bit. I brought. We've done the giving of gifts, but I have not given you yours yet. And he says, "Don't worry. I brought one for everyone. You're all equal in my eyes." And he says, like gesturing to the whole room, not specifically just you four, you five. And he motions to Sir Talavar, who kind of opens a little pocket dimension thing. And he takes out with great reverence and says, I give you this gift, the knowledge of children, the key to the next generation, grow them strong, think of us, and dance with them in the sunlight. And he hands you a book, like sort of this book. It's on like wood. It's always got like a wooden cover, and its pages are like leaves. And Sir Talavar. So it's written in like sort of like an old Elvish script. So those of you who can read Elvish can kind of make it out. Those who can't, I think Sir Talavar does tell you what it says. It says riddles and puzzles for children. But it's obviously for kind of Elvish children or Fey children, I guess. And he hands that to Yama as the kind of lead, in his eyes, the leader of the group, the king. And hands you this book of Fey puzzles and riddles for children.
I accept this gracefully. Thank you, Lord Talavar. Perhaps this would aid me in learning your language, or at least the language of my friend here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to return to him. I have a small posy of summer flowers, like daisies and
Mm-hmm.
such. And I just want to kind of procure them from behind my back
Mm-hmm.
and present them with a flourish. A small taste of summer while you are here in the winterlands.
Oh, a breath of home, if ever I did smell one. Thank you so much. And he kind of and you can see him it's like returning him to that good place. He seems to glow even more so, perhaps. And he tucks it behind his ear, the flowers, and so now he's even more kind of, barefoot and free, and like a young girl in a summer dress running across the field, just loving life at the fair.
It's so cute.
Cool. Is there any other gifts you wanted to give to anyone else at the party, or any other kind of things you wanted to do before perhaps the next level of festivities begin, and potentially begin next week, as we're closing on 9.
I don't know. I've kind of given my big gift away.
Yeah, I think Yama heads over to the queen. Before he does, I want to activate my crown.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll kick off a charge, but some beautiful, large butterfly wings, maybe similar to what Karu is wearing, emblazoned on his outfit, and heads over to the queen. He bows before her. My wonderful queen, it is at last wonderful to meet you. Verity Kyle has spoken quite highly of you. And I have brought...
How is that old sea dog?
Well, she's definitely still up to her old tricks. We have had quite the adventures together. I would love to regale you with the stories, but perhaps we are among mixed company, and I would not wish to give away my misdoings, perhaps. But maybe you're somebody who could understand.
I think I understand perfectly, Your Grace. Please convey to Ms. Kyle my mournful loss at her not being here, but my joy at who she has sent in her stead. I look forward to you telling me that story perhaps later in the twilight, with less open ears to gasp up the stories, and we can perhaps keep them to a smaller audience.
Indeed, I do hope you will save me some time, or perhaps a turn on the dance floor. Until then, I have brought you this bouquet of winter flowers. I do hope these are the first snowdrops of the season that you have seen thus far. They remind me of your elegant beauty, and I thought them a perfect gift for the Queen of Winter.
You flatter me, King of Witch's Light. I am no queen, but I will take the compliment for tonight only, if I must. These are absolutely divine. I don't mind sharing with you that I was a absolutely unable to see the first dewdrops of the season, having been sequestered away for the last couple of months planning tonight's festivities. So you have done me a great chivalrous service, my lord. And she will kind of take the flowers and kind of, you know, smell them fondly and kind of look at them and kind of and for you, perhaps a gift that I could offer. Indeed, perhaps a gift to ourselves. I could perhaps be a little greedy with this one. Would you mind having a dance with me later? I, of course, would not. I would completely understand if you were to say no, as this is somewhat a self-serving
not at all.
gift.
I am so honored. I am so humbled. I would be grateful. Please do not begrudge this old dog if my moves are not quite up to your standards. But yes, I would be most grateful.
Well, if you can dance half as well as you can be gracious, then of course my feet are in good care.
I definitely hope I do not step on them.
As you
Then,
see, you know, Elias, her husband, kind of standing there, like he seems like, of course, this is all natural or whatever. Maybe even giving you the, you know, we like your vibe kind of look.
An open relationship, perfect. Our original plan, it's gonna happen.
It's working.
As we close out there, perhaps, unless there was something anyone wanted to kind of really jump in on. No.
Not really, no.
I would like to give him a gift.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I've got to hop off, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, I've got one thing for you, Paulie, and then we'll go.
I'll let you do that.
This was my cliffhanger, so I'll do it and then I'll call it. But Dylan, write it down, and we'll do it first thing next episode.
Yeah.
Paulie, as you're kind of standing about watching this happen, maybe you're about to walk up. I don't know if you're giving a gift. But if you're standing in the queue, or if you're standing kind of in the ballroom somewhere, you just hear a voice that you recognize a lot more fondly than the face of the giant you just dealt with. And you just hear a very familiar voice go, "Oh, fuck, who invited you?"
Oh, is it Dawn?
Yep.
Amazing.
I saw his token on the map before because I've still got ownership of it. And I was
Yeah.
like, hey, Dan, can
Oh,
you make
really?
him walk in and like confuse everyone? Dan's like, I've got something planned. Just wait.
Yeah. And that's where we'll end this week.
Yay.
Hope you all enjoyed the
Amazing.
start of the Winter Gala. Plenty of very interesting moments. I think we all learned a lot about each other's character a little bit there. And I thought that was very sweet of Killian to say that you all have his back, so he doesn't need to look behind him anymore.
Everyone just
Yeah, that is
fully
cute.
glazed over that. Gillian's like, I love these guys.
We picked
They're
it up.
great."
I think
No
we picked it up.
way.
But yeah, they would never say it out to you, but we will at the macro table level. We'll say that was sweet. Yeah, why is Sorn here? Why is the former slaver of Paulie / his dad / owner here? And how will the party get the solitaire diamond? And more importantly, how will they steal the other necklace that Karu gave away that is really important to him and he doesn't want to actually give it away? We will find out next week. We'll see you all then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.